Welcome back, guys. We're just in a workshop, so David's come down with his Fiesta ST180. The car's fully stocked at the moment. Just thought I'd take a couple of seconds to introduce him, find out a bit more about him, what he's looking to achieve from the car, and how he feels he's been dealt with by Logic Motorsport. Obviously, we're trying to keep those social distancing measures in place, so no cuddles in today's video, I'm afraid, which is pretty upsetting for me because look at the guy. Anyway. David, welcome to Logic Motorsport.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask you a few questions on camera, basically.
Sure.
So, how do you feel the car is at the moment?
Well, do you know what? I got this a few weeks ago, and I was actually surprised at how good the little ST is.
Okay.
It was only going to be a little run around, and got in there, and I thought, oh, actually, this is quite good fun. And then, yeah, going back to the old days where I used to like modifying cars and things like that. I thought, oh, what's available?
That's it.
What's available? So, funny enough, you guys came near enough at the top of the Google search.
Brilliant. That answers my next question. So, sorry to cut you off. How did you come across Logic Motorsport?
Really, it was modified cars in Google, and you guys were pretty much at the top.
Oh, fantastic. So,
and then, yeah, started looking at you on social media.
Brilliant.
And then I thought, do you know what, give you guys a go.
Perfect. David actually got in touch with us to go stage one and to take advantage of our Logic track and trace offer. Basically, the Fiesta ST is one of the most common cars in the UK to go missing, so we've built our own product, which is a tracking system for your car with a remote activated through your mobile phone immobiliser. It's perfect for the ST, as we've shown in previous videos. It absolutely kills the car, so even if someone stole David's keys, they wouldn't be able to go and steal David's car. They'd have a lovely key ring, and that's about it. So, yeah, back to David, sorry. So what are you looking to achieve from going stage 3?
Well, so getting a bit geeky with it, I looked at stage 1 with your offer, and I thought, that's fantastic. And then it was thanks to your social media post about your ex-demo car.
Brilliant.
And I thought, oh, do you know what, instead of going stage 1, let's jump to stage 3.
Okay.
Then started looking at what that entailed. And I was like, yeah, I want some of that.
Perfect.
I want some of that.
David's obviously very excited about getting his car from average to savage. So without further ado, let's get into the build. So as part of every tuning project at Logic Motorsport, before we get into anything, especially a stage 3 build, we include a smoke test for the car. We also include a full deep scan of the car. That way, any behind the scenes fault codes that might not necessarily be up on the dash, we can detect them, isolate them and sort them out. And obviously any boost leaks that we come across in the early stages, we know that our products are either going to replace that boost leak, or if it's something that's going to remain on the car, we can isolate and sort that out as well.
Rolling.
So basically, guys, we're going to talk through the video in terms of the staging and the way in which we put our stages together at Logic Motorsport. So stage 1 would just be a tune, stage 1 plus would be induction, stage 2 would be induction and downpipe, stage 2 plus would be induction, downpipe and intercooler, and stage 3 is obviously a replacement turbo, and then stage 3 plus and beyond is your fueling mods and everything else that goes with it. So essentially we're going to look at the stage 1 plus side of the hardware on David's car. So we've got crossover, we've got induction hose, and we've got massive induction kit replacing obviously the stock part. So basically the R-Sport crossover replaces the stock part. It's just a wider channel, get a lot more air through it, basically keep the car cooler, keep it breathing better, keep it performing nice and well, yeah, a lot nicer. So then you've got your induction hose. Obviously, as you can see, we've got a Perrin one here, silicone hose replacing this skinny little bit of plastic again, way more flow. And then obviously moving on to your actual induction filter, you've got a clogged up little box that comes from Ford, which obviously does its job on a stock car, but that's not going to do anywhere near what we wanted to do, either stage 1, 2 or 3. So David's obviously going stage 3 today. We need to get plenty of air into the engine. So market leading intake is the ITG, and we've got the Voodoo version of that today. So yeah, we look forward to getting it onto the car. Let's see what else we're going to get done. Okay guys, so next stage in the build is basically intercooler replacement. So the front end of the car's off, you'll probably see a little snippet in the video as we put it together. But essentially this is your Fiesta ST factory intercooler that Ford give you, which basically does the job pretty well when you're running 180 brake horse. But obviously we're going 300 plus today. Let's just say that. I'm not going to start predicting figures just yet, but way over 300 we're going to be going today. So obviously we need to keep the car nice and cool. Customers having the Wagner intercooler that, like we said, was on our track car, so we know that this performs. Fantastic thing about this, you've got a massive front surface area. You've got a chunky core, and then you've also got the extension at the top as well. We've branded it with a little bit of Logic. If the customer doesn't want that, we can take it away. However, Wagner Intercooler, stage 3 Fiesta, let's get it in. Okay then guys, another little bit of interim information for you is a couple of little trinkety mods that you would never see that work behind the scenes. The first one is the Turbo Smart brand, well, Turbo Smart Voodoo branded Simposer Elite. So basically when a Fiesta ST180 comes out the factory running the 180 brake horse, fully stocked, Ford kind of treat you guys to a little bit of extra cabin sound, just to give you the experience, give you more experience, a better feel when you're driving the car. When you start to progress and tune your car, go stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, adding things like induction kits, downpipes, exhaust and all that good stuff, you don't really need fake noise anymore. It does become a little bit too much, a little bit drony here and there, so what many people do and what we advise is Simposer Elite, get rid of all the fake noise, enjoy the noise that you paid for, and that's pretty much that. Moving on to the next one, it's just the Sump Plug, which is in this case again Voodoo branded, shout out to the Voodoo brand. This is for obviously the sump in the car. This is magnetic as well. So basically what this does is put it in the car, it attracts any little nasty shards of tiny fragments of metal that might be flying around in your engine. What you don't want is a lot of swarf building up in the oil. I mean, the best oils in the world can protect your engine, but it's never going to 100% eliminate any little tiny bits of metal coming off. So you put this in there, in your sump, it attracts all them little evil bits of metal, and it, obviously when you come to change your oil or change to do this, that and the other, you can take it out, give it a little clean, give it a little rinse and put it back in nice and fresh. But two little bits of little bits of key kit there that we strongly advise on.
Roll in.
Okay then, so the next part of the job guys, we've got the crossover element of it. So as you can see here, the Ford gear, it's nice, it's plenty, it's sturdy and what have you, it does the job for, like I say, the ST180 coming out of the factory at stock power. As you go up through the stages, you want bigger, beefier, more girthy pipes, that's what she said. But yeah, basically it's all about high flow, it's all about best performance, it's all about everything being kept as cool as possible and obviously everything being optimum. So yeah, bigger, better, done. Okay guys, so the exhaust element of the video is pretty much here. David's taken off the stock exhaust. I think previous to David owning it, somebody put a little farting back box on it, but we'll come to that in a second. We're going for a full catback Scorpion 1-res exhaust today. David's not your typical Fiesta driver, he's slightly older, he doesn't want the pop and bang, he doesn't want that drony bar right the way through every gear. It's his daily car, so he wants the performance to be there, but he wants the car to be nice and subtle. So yeah, great choice of exhaust. I was looking to be fair, that's the exhaust that we've got. It's got a res at the front, it's got a back box in it, so it should sound nice and beefy, but not over the top. So the advantages of obviously going for an aftermarket exhaust are nice thick tubing for nice flow, get them gases away from your exhaust, and obviously couple that with the decat pipe. Yeah, we just want maximum efficiency, getting those fumes away from the engine. We'll come to the decat video in a second, but yeah, as you can see, we've got nice big thick chunky tubing supplied, made by Scorpion, and the back box obviously comes with nice chrome polished tips. We'll do a walk round once the car's been done. Once it's been dynoed, we'll take it outside, we'll get some nice photos of it for you guys to see. But yeah, not only is this exhaust extremely aesthetically pleasing, it's also fantastic in terms of performance as well.
Rolling.
Okay guys, moving on to decat pipes. So basically, as you can see, we've got the stock one off the car, which comprises of a scrawny ass little exit, a big cap full of old gubbins to obviously reduce emissions and whatnot, but it's quite restrictive on the fumes, exhaust gases and everything else. That's being replaced with the aftermarket one, which basically doesn't have this box. It's a nice straight free flowing pipe. It's a nice wider pipe, doesn't have this bottleneck type thing going on here, so things get restricted and hold everything back. It's a Cobra decat, it's free flowing, aftermarket, decat, high performance, happy days. Okay, cool, so welcome back to the video guys. Turbo's now off, obviously we've got the VT330R to go on. Even side by side, the turbos look worlds apart. You've got the stock turbo wear housings, let's just say this big, and then obviously you've got the uprated VT330R hybrid, and we're looking turbos about this big. So you've got stock actuator, Voodoo actuator, we've got hot side pipe, tiny little thin pipe, and then obviously off this one you've got a big chunky boost pipe ready to go. Yeah, like I say, turbos are worlds apart, power differences will be worlds apart, twice the power, happy days.
Roll it.
Okay guys, so we're just at the point in the build now where intercooler's on, turbo's on, the downpipe's on. We're just in the process now of putting the exhaust sections on. Once that's all done, we can drop the car back down, start building it from the top upwards, so all the induction stuff. Start putting all the trims and plastics back on, slap it up on the dyno, give it a big run. Let's go. Get into the back end of the video now guys, or back end of the, at least the hardware install. We're on top of the engine bay, we're on top of the job. Just finishing off the fitting of the turbo and going to start on the induction side of it. We can then start putting the car back together. While that's happening, well, the car's at a workable height now. We've got Anthony in from Logic Track and Trace to fit, install and test the Logic Track and Trace stuff. Don't forget guys, the Fiesta ST is the most stolen car in the UK at present. Logic Motorsport, sister company Logic Track and Trace, has released the product, our in-house product. It's an extremely well equipped tracker with a option of adding a remote mobile phone activated immobilizer as well. Basically what that means is once you've installed this, activate it on your phone, it completely kills the car. It doesn't just stop it from starting, it doesn't just stop it from firing up, it completely kills the car. So even with the keys, you can't even get dashboard lights. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, we'll come to the end of the video, we'll do a little demo on the car, we'll show you what that's about. Head over to Logic Track and Trace Limited on Facebook. Don't forget to jump on logic.motorsport on Instagram. And while I'm here, I might as well ask you to share the page on Facebook. Cheers. Last part of the day now guys, we'll run it up on the dyno, take a data log, see how it's running, we're looking for 300 plus, see how it goes. Done one run for the car, we've data logged it, recalibrated it, so we'll do another run now, starting the car with that. Full scan, full data log, carry on. Take care.